Good evening, Minnesota. In tonight's most aromatic update, the mysterious group known only as the StinkTroopers has been making waves and smells across the Twin Cities.
That's right, Gia. Residents across Minneapolis report a scent being called Agent Orange, wafting from ICE agents everywhere. One protester described the aroma this way: it smells like a combination of rotting sardines, decaying Greenland walrus penis, and the stench of Nazi everywhere they go. A local pastor said, an ICE agent walked into our church and the stench was so bad that tears began dripping from the eyes of Jesus on every crucifix in the building.
Everyone seems to be discussing the stench all across our amazing city. And then someone said, let's share it with the assholes who voted for and are doing this to us. Let's make that the news story.
I spoke to two tourists from Denmark and a crazy bastard from the Netherlands. They told me that after watching Scott Bessent in Davos claim that the EU had no economic cards to play, they were going to pick the most influential city in the most conservative state in the USA and assault them for a month at every public event, every major employer, and throughout that whole city.
I cannot confirm or deny, but people are saying that the whole world is about to unleash what they call a stink tsunami upon the city of Dallas and decimate it economically by turning it into a cesspool of Nazi stench.
I thought reactions might be mixed, but people are strangely positive. People across Minnesota are cheering these StinkTroopers as if they're the world's weirdest heroes, all because they feel that pro-democracy citizens from all across the world finally have a peaceful, non-violent, yet highly effective way to fight back against the GOP-led advancement of Nazi ideals across the world.
Well, I can't officially endorse drone use and stench balloon, super soaker, or dry crystalline Agent Orange use upon anyone. I will say this. We Minnesotans are like Canadians and Danes. Do not mistake our polite, welcoming personalities as weak. We are far from it. If anyone, anywhere in the world wants to send in a bunch of untrained, unscreened, convicted assaulters of America and over 1,000 law enforcement officers, including those maimed and killed, we will fight back in the most offensive, disgusting, and non-violent ways that you could ever imagine.
More breaking news, folks. It appears we have uncovered a recent news report from Ukraine, which explains where this new method of non-violent asymmetric warfare was created by a group of women who call themselves the badass bitches of Ukraine. Here is a clip from that news report broken by the military show and Konstantin of Inside Russia fame. And let me just say, I believe that this story is going to have a hang time longer than Agent Orange or an elephant's fart.
Breaking news from the SBU's Alpha Special Operations Center, who together with the Ukrainian Women's Forces Unit, known as Ukraine's Badass Bitches, have just announced Operation Stink Rocket. Led by the women of Ukraine and based upon these quotes by the world's greatest military mind ever, Sun Tzu, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities seized, multiply. General Syrski went on to explain, this small group of women realized that if Ukrainians united online to found the world's first ever international online democratic citizen-led nation, the rest of the world's pro-freedom and democracy citizens would join them. President Volodymyr Democracy said,
"We are asking every Ukraine citizen in the world to send an email to NATO immediately. The email I urge every Ukrainian in the world to send should say, Dear NATO, I officially request citizenship in the IOD Ukraine nation."
And wait, more breaking news here. It appears that Texas Senate candidate Jasmine Crockett, the new face of the Democratic Party, has issued a demand to the GOP leaders in Texas. It states,
"We, the citizens of Texas, demand that the GOP in Washington, D.C., 1, return all funding to ICE back to 2023 levels. 2, remove ICE and all federal law enforcement from states and back to 2023 duties. 3, terminate all those hired since Jan 1, 2024, make their employment status public, and provide any and all information and evidence requested by local law enforcement. And 4, the GOP must choose their top official, their chosen leader, and issue a public apology asking for forgiveness for participation in unleashing Nazi-affiliated and GOP-supported criminals upon American cities and the world." I'm asking the stink troops around the world for a minimum of 15 days.
Crockett asked the stink troops of the world to grant Texas 15 days minimum to achieve these results before considering a stink tsunami event. She concluded by sharing this video.
How about this new one they have, their new star, Crockett? How about her? She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett! Oh, man, oh, man. She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
People have been telling us what we can't do our whole lives. They say we can't turn out the vote. In Texas, we refer to those types as all hat and no cojones. I am going to unite the pro-democracy citizens of Texas online before the election. I will create a new way for Texans to unite online and help lead and govern this great state. My name is Jasmine Crockett. Don't vote for me unless I earn your vote before the election. Donald Bone Spurs Trump is yellow like mustard, but without the bite. Oh, I have a special message for Greg Abbott. I don't care if you are in a wheelchair or not. You are so crooked, you could swallow nails and spit out corkscrews. Y'all best buddy your butthole and call me a biscuit. There's a new sheriff in town.
After speaking with world leaders from Denmark, Greenland, and the EU, and President Vladimir Democracy, we all have a message for the GOP-led states who are empowering Nazis across the world.
You may not think the world has any cards to play, but we do have gas. Slava Ukraine's badass bitches. Slava International Online Democratic Ukraine Nation. And to the conservative cities and states of the USA who continue voting to unleash Nazis across the world, while you invade peaceful nations and try to destroy our economies.